So the topic is diet planning and the steps in calculating your therapeutic diets. Okay. So our learning objectives is to first be able to estimate your total energy requirement. Before you formulate the diet, you have to know how much you need, how much energy you require in a day, no? And then to be able to formulate also what distribution of macronutrients will be essential and would benefit the patient. Dapat ba maraming carbs? Dapat ba konti ang fats? Dapat ba mataas ang protein? So doon tayo maglalaro, no? So all of that would depend on the principles of your dietary management. So you are to design a normal or therapeutic diet using the food exchange list. Okay? So napaka-importante ng food exchange list kasi doon nyo kukunin yung combination of food or the choices of food that would really make up the diet plan. Okay? So yes, it's all computation mostly, no? So bear with us. So this is the food exchange list. It's made of 7 lists with different labels. May vegetable, list 1, fruit, milk, rice, meat, fat, and sugar. So what is the food exchange list? Nandyan din yan sa manual nyo. It's lifted directly from FNRI DOST, Food Exchange List for Filipinos. Okay? So for those who have a copy of that, meron din yan. I don't know, nahirapan akong maghanap online ng FNRI book na ganyan, but wala siyang atang equivalent. But there are other same food exchange list. Like for the Filipinos, diabetics, meron din yan. No? Pareha lang naman ang exchanges. Okay? So what is the food exchange list? It's a list of food that you exchange. Tama? Pag hindi mo makain yung certain food, pwede kang pumili under that list which gives you the equivalent amount of nutrients. Okay? Let's give you the example. This is how you view it in your manuals, no? So vegetables natin, meron green leafy, meron non-leafy. Okay? So yan. Yung vegetable A, usually yung mga dahon-dahon. Ayan o, dahon, 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 dahon. Except for, siguro yung pipino, yung papayang hilaw, yung kamatis, pero halos lahat dahon. Okay? Vegetable B is the non-leafy. Okay? So, himayin natin ngayon. Ito, look at that. If I eat pipino, 1 cup raw, look how much nutrients it gives me. Meron ba? Plus? Wala. So pag walang macronutrients, you cannot convert that to energy. Wala ring kilocalories. Eh, Dok, kumain na ako ng 1 tasang pipino, pinapak ko na yun, nabusog na ako eh. Oh, pero wala ka pang equivalent energy. Wala kang carbo, protein, and fat. Eh, Dok, sinamahan ko po ng 1 tasang kamatis. Salad ako ng kamatis and pipino. 1 cup pipino, 1 cup kamatis. Pag dalawang vegetable A equivalent siya, ito na po ang equivalent niya, vegetable B. Okay? So vegetable A times 2 is equivalent to 1 vegetable B. Take note of that, ha? So may 3 grams ka na ng carb, 1 gram of protein. How will you get the kilocalorie equivalent? Remember the 449 rule, diba? So 1 gram of carb is 4 kilocalories, 1 gram of fat, of protein is 4, and 1 gram of fat is 9. So pag ganito siya, times 4, wala namang times 9, so 16 pag inad mo. Okay? So pag kumain pala ako ng 1 tasang tomatoes at 1 tasang hilaw na cucumber, pipino, 16 kilocalories lang yun. Ay, ang saya-saya. Diba? Eh, Dok, ayokong kumain nun. Gustong kumain ng dahon ng kangkong. So, kumain ng puro kangkong. 1 tasang raw, wala. Dalawahin mo, 16. You get my point? Okay. Eh, hindi naman po ako kumain ng ganong gulay. Ang kinain ko po carrots, ubod, no? Basta finalo nyo yung measurement na yan, 1/2 cup cooked or raw, it gives you 3, 1, tsaka 16 din lang. Do you get my point? So what is the beauty of eating vegetables prior to eating anything else? It doesn't give you a lot of carbs, protein, and fats, but the fiber is there, the water binding capacity is there, the vitamins and minerals and antioxidants are there, no? But you don't have a lot of calories. Okay? So the filling effect, the satiety effect of fiber, and the cleansing effect of fiber does the work. Okay? So kailan kinakain po ang gulay? Sa dessert? o sa simula? Di ba yung fresh veggies mo, yung salad mo, appetizer siya. Kinakain siya sa ano. Para kung plano mong kumain ng makasalanan, di ba? Ng chicharon, ng whatever mataba, na-coat mo na yung GI tract mo ng gulay. Meron nang magbabind, ma-excrete mo na siya. No? Hindi kayo masyadong toxic. Or gusto mong kumain kunwari ng puro canned goods, simulan mo ng gulay para yung toxins na preservatives na makakain mo susunod, medyo maka-flush out mo immediately. Alright? So, there ha. Ito naman, milk. Pwede naman po ang milk na, iba-ibang klaseng milk ha. Pwede siyang whole milk, powdered, low-fat, skim milk, or very low-fat. Anong pagkakaiba? Lahat sila using these measurements, 1 glass yan, 4 tablespoons, 1 glass. Okay? Gives you 12 grams of carb, 8 grams of protein, ang nagbago lang yung fat content. Siyempre, pag low fat, yung 5 magiging half lang, ay yung 10 magiging half. Tapos pag very low fat, halos walang fat content. Non-fat milk na siya. Tingnan mo yung energy. Paano mo na-derive yan? Times 4, times 4, times 9. Do you get my point, class? So, compare natin. Sa isang serving, isang exchange ng gulay na 16 calories, isang tasang gatas, 170 kilocalories. Naget nyo na? Ang pagkakaiba ng energy. Okay? Progress tayo sa rice exchanges. Kanin is life. Ang Pilipino, hindi mabubuhay ng walang kanin. Di po ba? So, one exchange of rice is not a full cup. Instead, it's a half cup. Okay? One exchange of rice is 1 rice equivalent. Dok, lagi akong 1 cup. Di sorry naman, 2 rice equivalents ka sa isang meal. Kasi half cup lang ang 1 equivalent. Okay? So, how much is 1 half cup of rice? It has 23 grams of carb and 5 grams of protein. Times 4, add it up, 100 kilocalories. You get the point? So, isang kalahating tasang kanin, 100 kilocalories. So, ang 1 full cup rice is how many calories? Ita times 2 mo to, di ba? So, magiging 200 kilocalories. Okay? Ito, hindi naman po ako kumakain ng kanin. Pero nag-dessert ako ng biko. Na 3/4 lang di ba? Kulang pa, hindi pa binuo. Kasi inagawan ako nung ka-dormmate ko. Na? Ayan, half cup of rice siya. Okay, Dok, hindi naman po ako kumakain ng nagspasta ako, nagspaghetti ako. Ganon din yun, kalahatang tasang kanin din yun. 1 small plate of spaghetti is also half cup of rice. Dok, hindi naman po ako nag-rice, nag-sandwich ako. Okay? Yung isang sandwich na ganon, half cup of rice. So, di ba sa first year, naalala nyo yung sabi ko, pag nag-clubhouse ka, ano yung clubhouse sandwich? Ilang tinapay yun? Sa pancake house, di ba nakakaloka yun? For sharing yun huwag kayong di ba? Alam mo yung, clubhouse, ako lang di ba tinatanong pang ilang tao yan? Kaya nga hinahati sa 4 yun Di ba? Para kakainin mo yung 1/4 lang, ikaw naman, yung lahat yun. Di ba? Ang style, order ka ng isa pa, sharing kayo. Di ba? Ibang klaseng food naman, tapos sharing mo yung, kasi yung clubhouse na yun, that's a full meal. Kahit nga mag-sandwich ka lang, bacon and egg sandwich, di ba may carb ka, may fat ka dun sa bacon and egg mo, may protein ka na rin sa bacon and egg mo, tapos yung carb mo yung tinapay. Winner na yun. So akala mo nag-dieta ka, hindi. Kumpletong meal ang sandwich, basta may palaman. Tapos ang twist lang, lagyan nyo ng gulay, tomatoes, lettuce, no? Pag dinagdag mo lahat yun, full meal na siya, winner na siya. Tapos hindi ka pa nahirapan kumain kasi demure ka lang kumain. Hindi ka sumusubo, no? So it's easy eating lang siya. Okay? So please take note of that. And then meat exchange, ayan, may low fat, medium fat, high fat. Okay? So 2 grams of protein and then the fat is what differs, no? So in summary, if you would tabulate all of that one exchange of each food group, you would see that it is distributed this way. Yan yung tool natin in computing diets, no? This is the summary. Alam mo that one exchange of rice is 100 kilocalories. Saan galing yun? 23 grams of carb and 2 grams of protein and so on. Okay? Alright. So moving on, so okay pa kayo, no? So we introduced, we're done and understand now the food exchange list. We go now in computing our diets, no? So before you compute your diet, you start off with knowing what you need, how much you need, and then you get it from the food you eat, okay? So we call that the total energy expenditure, total energy requirement, or total caloric requirement, no? So it just tells you the amount of calories you need in a day, all right? So tatlo po ang main things when you were in first year. Sabi natin, the biggest energy expenditure is your basal metabolic rate. Resting basal metabolism. No? Tapos meron kang second in line would be your physical activity. And then you have a 10% thermic effect of food. Okay? But for our clinical purposes, si thermic effect of food, stable naman yan. So we remove it out of the equation. Mas ina-account natin ngayon yung injury factor. Okay? So, tatlo po ang considerations natin to compute for TCR. What's the first? The largest component of energy expenditure is your basal metabolic rate, followed by the activity factor, and followed by the injury factor. Dok, bakit may injury factor? Kasi take note, your cases are deceased people, no? They are diseases that have metabolic stress, no? Even if it's not metabolic stress, kunwari surgical patient, meron siyang physical stress. So yung stress na yon would add to the burning of energy and to the requirement for energy. Okay? So, pag normal, wala siyang sakit, one ang gagamitin natin. Pero tataas siya pag merong metabolic stress. Okay? So, okay kayo? So, let's go for BMR muna, ha? BMR, how do we compute it? It use the Harris-Benedict equation. Sa klase 10, sinasabi ko, class, no, pag gumawa kayo ng case nyo, wag nyo kakalimutan yung anthropometric measurements. Ano po yun? Weight and height. And definitely, you give the age of the patient, no? So, weight in kilograms, height in centimeters, and the age. Because you use it to compute for basal metabolism. Alright? Doc, meron namang short method eh. Pero I would rather that you use the Harris-Benedict equation para ma-sure kayo. But the short method comes from this long method. Okay? O, madali lang yan. Sige. Tapos na tayo sa BMR. Next is activity factor. Sige ka, medical student, kagagaling nyo lang sa bakasyon. Ano po bang level of intensity ng activity natin? Ha? Very light, very light, sedentary. Dapat naman sana you took the chance during the vacation, at least the 1 month vacation, that you did a lot of activities, no? Para naman ma-balance off. Kasi alam natin sa online learning, nakaupo ka lang forever, di ba? Maglinis naman kayo ng kwarto nyo, no? Maglaba kayo, magsampay kayo, di ba? At least physical activity yun, di ba? Or better off, you commit yourself to 20 minutes. Ako talaga sobrang hindi ko nagagawa. Pero binabaliktad ko na ngayon. Kung ang pagliligo, kayo nga pati ligo, kinakalimutan nyo eh. Diba? Dati, it's a must. You must take a bath. Ngayon sa online, okay lang not to take a bath. Okay? So, diba? May ganun eh, diba? Sa lalaki, okay lang. Sa babae, di ba parang nakakainis pag di ka naligo. Di ba? Ang hair is the crowning Pag ang feeling mo sa hair mo talagang ang bigat-bigat na magliligo ka talaga. Make ligo parang exercise. Make it really a part of your routine. Wag siyang matatanggal. So ako medyo nag-improve ako this pandemic because I was able to incorporate that 15 to 20 minutes exercise at least 3 times a week. Hindi man siya pagsasayaw, hindi man siya paglalakad, pero it's really a physical activity. Yung tipong magtatrabaho ka talaga, no? So, promise ko yun sa sarili ko. So, at age 48, going 49, kalahati lang kayo ng edad ko. Dapat naman, magsisigwenta na ako. Si Dr. D ang 50 years old. Siya ang kaedad ng FEU-NRMF. Pero ako, 1 year younger sa kanya. Huwag ka na. Clerk ako noon, PGI ko siya. Okay? So, inuutos-utusan lang niya ako. Anyway, yon ha? So, ganun yun. So, dapat ilagay niya yan. So, dapat nasa light tayo. At least 3 to 5 days of physical activity, pasok ka na dyan sa moderate. No? Tignan nyo tumataas ang activity factor. And when one of the, ang tawag dyan, multipliers increases, definitely the product, which is your total energy requirement, also increases. Okay? Injury factor, ito na yung sinasabi ko, no? Injury. Pag wala kang injury, 1. Pero pag may stress ka, okay, you can increase it to 1.5. Kunwari ang kaso mo is diabetic, obese person, poor compliance to medications, diagnosed 10 years na diabetic. Oh, anong gagamitin mong injury factor? You have to defend that when you present your diet plan. Dok, ginamit po namin ilan? 1 pa rin ba ang gagamitin nyo? 10 years diagnosed diabetic pero hindi sumusunod sa paggamutan? Uncontrolled glucose? Anong gagamitin yung injury factor? Pwede siyang pumalo ng 1.35, no? Or even 1.5 pag medyo pasaway si patient. Pwede yon kasi nga that's stress to the patient, no? Okay? So yan siya. Okay? So again, we're done with our BMR, activity factor, and injury factor. We now proceed to computing na. Ano ba ang unang value na dapat mong i-account for? It's the estimated ideal body weight. Okay, class. Bakit ideal body weight? Dok, di mo po ba pwedeng timbangin ko na lang ang sarili ko or ang pasyente? Actual body weight po ang gagamitin ko. Bakit kailangan ideal? Remember, what's your aim? To create a sound therapeutic diet. Should we be using the actual body weight or the ideal body weight? Tingin niyo. Pwedeng i-chat pag ayaw mag-ano. Yung iba dyan, ang unang sasagot yan, may question mark pa. Tapos DM pa. Di ba? Naka-direct message. Tapos, IBW? Yung may question mark na gano'n, hindi siya sure. No? Okay? So, ano kayang palagay nyo? Is it actual or ideal? Isipin mo, gagawa ka ng diet. Ikaw mismo, isipin mo, gagawa ka ng diet, magkukompute pa ba using your actual body weight? When you know that you are not within the ideal body weight. Correct? So what is the answer? In computing therapeutic diets, you have to base it with your ideal body weight. Why? Because your actual is not always your ideal. Yung jowa mo ngayon, actual siya. Pero hindi naman siyang ideal. Diba? Hindi palagi. Pero pwede na rin. Kesa wala. Diba? Hindi na. Diba? Hanggang makahanap, saka lang until somebody else comes along. May ganun kayo. It's sad to belong. Ang peg nila. Uy, wag kayo ganun na. Sa online ba may na-develop na pagmamahalan? Parang, naka-record ba? Naka-record ako. Pero sige na nga, may entertain din naman. Skip nyo na lang yung video pag nadaanan nyo to. Diba? Yun ang fear namin eh. Bakit? O, tinan nyo ako. Anong pangalan ko? Marian Benigno Bringas. Benigno maiden name, Bringas. Kagrupo ko yung asawa ko. Diba? Diba? Doktora Dolores Villanueva Villiran. Medtech pa lang magkaklase na sila ni Dr. Villiran. Ba? Yun ay dahil face-to-face. Pero ngayon, I don't know, kahit magkatabi kayo ngayon, kunwari katabi mo si Kyle Pineda tsaka si Nikki Ray. Magkatabi naman kayo dito sa view ko, pero hindi kayo. Alam mo yung ganun? Diba? So, wala lang, hugot lang tayo, no? So, your actual is not always your ideal. Sana na mag-stick man lang sa inyo. Tatanong ko sa exam yan, what do we use in computing your total caloric requirement? Ang choices, ideal body weight, actual body weight, corrected body weight. O, di ba? And, anong pang pagulo? None of the above. Or, pwede rin, A and B only. Okay? So, sige. So, how do we estimate the ideal body weight? You start with males, 50 kilograms tall, 5 feet. Yun ang estimate mo. 50 kilograms ang 5 feet na male. Sorry ka naman pag male ka, huwag ka titigil sa 5 feet. Dapat medyo mas matangkad ka sa 5 feet. Ang sakit naman nun. Okay? So, eto medyo masagwa din tong natin. Example, 5'2". Bakit 5'2", Dok? Kasi mahirap mag-compute. No, kaya binabaan ko para hindi kayo maturete sa pag-multiply. Okay? 5 feet 2 inches. So you start at 50 and then every inch higher is 2.3 kilograms. Okay? So 2.3 times 2. Kasi 2 inches taller than 5 siya. So that's 4.6 kilogram plus 50, which is the base for 5. So magiging 54.6 or round it off kasi estimation naman to 55 kilograms. Okay? So yan siya. Alright? So a 5 feet 2 inch male should be weighing estimated weight is 55 kilograms or 121 pounds times 2.2. Okay, then we can now move on. Go ahead and compute now your basal metabolic rate. So ito yung case nyo. This is how you present your case. This is a normal person. You will be giving the person your cases, the age, no? Pakita nyo yung weight, measure natin yung weight at yung height. Sometimes the weight is the actual body weight. Again, you show that it's not the actual body weight that you use, but the ideal body weight, which is 55 kilograms based on our computation. Okay? And ito na ang pagiging doktor nyo. Papasok na po ang nutrient distribution. Sino po nagsasabi ng 60, 50 na 25%? Kayo as doctors. Diba? Ito okay lang siya, normal Filipino, normal diet. Pero paano, Doc, pag gusto kong mag-lose weight? Paano ko i-manipulate to? You can assign lower carbohydrates, higher protein, and moderate fat. So paano yon? Pwedeng 50% carb, protein is 20%, and your fat is 30%. No? So nakikita nyo yung pagmamanipulate ng percentages, that is dependent on the principle of your dietary management. Okay? Kung ano ba dapat iangat at dapat ibaba na nutrients. Okay? So this is how we compute 55 kilograms, 155 centimeters tall, and 36 years old. So you would derive the answer for basal metabolic rate using the Harris-Benedict equation as 1,330. Okay? Pag using the short method, tingnan nyo, kinuha lang niya yung IBW times 24 hours, halos malapit siya sa 1,330. So yun yung sinasabi ko, you can use the short method, may konting discrepancy lang. Okay? Moving on, yan. Meron na tayong BMR. Ito sa table mo lang titingnan, ito rin sa table lang titingnan. So, 1,330, ano sabi natin kanina, yung case natin has moderate physical activity. So, pasok siya dito sa male with 1.7. So, yan ang activity factor mo. Tapos, Doc, wala naman siyang sakit kasi healthy siya, so 1 ang injury factor. Okay? So, your total caloric requirement is 2,300. You can round down 2,261 to 2,300. Okay? To the nearest 50s. Alright? So, we will now proceed to eto class, ha? Paano, Doc, pag obese yung pasyente ko? No? Do I use the ideal body weight? Definitely not. Bakit? Kunwari, given na si pasyente mo, this is the computation for adjusted or corrected body weight. We correct the body weight for obese. Bakit po? It's not realistic na ang pasyente mo kumakain ng 400 kcal a day, tapos gagawa ka ng diet sa kanya na 1,500 kcal lang. Maglolokohan lang kayo. Hindi niya kakainin yun. Dadayain ka niya. So what do? You make a diet that is quite near, that's the corrected BMR, and it's higher, ayan o, nagdagdag ka, than the ideal body weight. That's the adjusted body weight. Tinaas mo ng konti. Okay? Para realistic, mas reachable. Okay? Mas valid yung pagkain niya kasi hindi masyadong mababa than his usual intake. That is for obese, no? So pakiaral niyo na lang po ito, no? So that's a computation. Again, ideal body weight formula is this one. We learned that earlier, no? And ito po, example. Dok, kailan ko gagamitin yung adjusted body weight? Okay? Pag ang weight ng pasyente is 125% or higher than his ideal body weight. Do you get the point? Pagka 125, 90 to 125 yan, you just use the IBW. Pero pag pumalo na siya ng 126 and above, you use now corrected body weight. Kasi sobrang heavy na siya. No? So, paano mo malalaman yon? You look at the ratio of the actual body weight versus the ideal body weight. How do you compare the ratio? So yeah, 65 ay actual body weight divided by the ideal body weight. Get the percentage. O itong case na to, kahit 65 kilograms siya actual body weight and he should be weighing just 59 kilograms, okay lang, 110%. Overweight siya but not yet obese. Naget niyo? Pero kunwari next patient mo, 5'4" lang siya, pero 80 kilograms siya. Ano ba talagang timbang niya? Dapat 59 lang. So compare the 80 with 59, ala, yan na. 135% siya. So meaning, he's weighing way more than how he should really weigh. No? So you now use the corrected body weight. Okay? All right? And you would notice that instead of using 59 as IBW, pag inad mo yung corrected body weight, instead of using 59, you will be increasing it to 64 kilograms. No? So that way, your diet is based on a 64 kilogram individual. Mas realistic. Okay? Moving forward, ito na po. Memorize niyo po ba to? Memorize niyo na kasi magkukompre na kayo, di ba? Kailan ang biochem? August 22. Kami ata ang huling araw, 7 a.m. Sunday, no? These are the must-knows for your nutrient distribution. 1/3 or more is carbohydrate. Tapos, ang protein mo, 10 to 15%. Ang fat mo, 20 to 30%. Siyang ka maglalaro. Doc, gusto ko pong i-manipulate ang diet in such a way na maglo-lose weight siya by decreasing carb intake. Tapos, ma-replace yung fat niya with protein. So, what do? Increase mo yung protein intake and then i-lessen mo yung carbohydrates. So, how high is high? You can go as high as 15 or even 20% here. Basta healthy ang liver. Diba? That's how you justify it. Tapos ito, baba mo siya ng 55% or 50% lang. Okay? And then choose the right foods. Huwag na yung heavy carbohydrates. Puro fruits and vegetables na ang choose nyo. Okay? That way, you manipulated already this one based on the principles of dietary management. Okay? So, pero class, for a prudent diet, yung healthy diet, okay lang tayo sa 60% from carb, 15 from protein, and 25% from fats. Okay? So, if you're using that normal diet, anong PCR natin kanina? 2,300 times 60%, 2,3 times 15%, and 2,3 times 25%. So yan po yung kilocalories ng carb, protein, and fats mo. Ano ko yan daw i-convert in grams? Kasi ang food natin measured in grams. So divided by 449 rule, correct? So you now get 345 grams of carb, 90 grams of protein, and then 65 grams of fat. Okay? Yan ang diet prescription mo na ngayon. Bibigay mo na yun sa pasyente or sa chart niya, sasabihin mo, dapat pong kumain ng pasyente ng 2,300 kilocalories in the form of carb 345, 90 grams per protein, and 65 grams per fat. Okay lang yan pag hospital food, gagawin niya ng dietary. Pag uuwi na siya, tapos ginawa mo siya niyan, hindi niya alam paano kakainin niyang grams na yan. Diba? So you have to make a diet for the patient, no? So you have to move one step further to make a diet, no? Okay, there is also a way pala to compute using the protein requirements. Kailan natin inuunang kinocompute ang protein requirements class? Kapag ka may problem sa liver and kidneys ang case mo. Okay? So you first compute for the protein before you compute for the non-protein. And what are the non-protein? Carbo and fats. So self-study po ito. Anyway, it's also in your manual. No? Study this one. And you would later realize that ito ang makukuha mo. Comparing the two class. Tingnan nyo, magkaiba. Ito yung sinuko kanina. You got the 60, 15, and 25. Look what happens if we first compute the protein. Tingnan mo ang discrepancy. Sobrang baba ng protein if we rely on a 1 gram per kilogram body weight protein. So yung range pala ng protein na 10 to 15, low protein pala yung 10%. High protein na pala ito. Okay? So, at saka hindi siya eksakto. Oh. Okay? Kasi inuna mong i-compute yung protein. Alright? So, you can do this in your liver cases and your kidney cases. Okay? Or pag ang case mo, gusto mong ma-challenge cardiovascular na merong comorbidities, pwede rin. No? Itong gamitin nyo. Okay? Pero siguro hindi nyo gagawin yun. No? Okay. So now we move on more to the food exchange list. Ito na ang pagka-doktor mo, pagka-clinical nutritionist mo. Lista mo na ngayon yung food exchange list as this way, no? Tapos now, based on your you assign now. Assign mo na. gusto kong damihan ng gulay in a day, gusto ko babaan yung milk, gusto ko babaan ng rice, dyan yun na i-manipulate. Ilang servings ba ang gusto mong ibigay sa pasyente? Okay? So, you can increase this to a higher value, pero wag naman 10 exchanges. Hello, magtatain naman yun. Diba? Saka kumain, puro gulay ang kinain mo buong araw. Parang hindi rin, remember in nutrition, what is the good practice? Balance, BVM. Balance, variety, and moderation. Correct? There's no one single bullet. Walang special food. Kahit lumaklak ka ng supplement, walang isang supplement na power food. Bakit? That's why God made it in such a way that you enjoy food and eat a balanced diet, because foods, what? They are synergistic and they complement each other. Yung pagkukulang ng isa, mamimit ng iba. And then you will enjoy the meal. Okay? So, you can manipulate this. This is what we will critique when you present your diet plans. Bakit tinaas mo ang vegetable? Bakit binaba mo ang fruit? Bakit tinaas mo ang milk? And so on. Okay? Bakit ang rice halos wala? Okay? So, Dok, paano ko i-compute yan? Ito to mag-assign ka muna dito. Ito na sa loob ng parenthesis class are the one exchange equivalents. Pero since ito ginawa kong 5, pero ang isang exchange is 3, 1, tsaka 3 and 1 lang. Ano mangyayari dito? 5 times 3, ilan? 15. Naget nyo? Okay? Sa fruit, 10 lang one exchange, 10 grams of carb. Tatlo ang exchanges niya in a day. So magiging 30 yon. Okay? And so on. Okay? So what do I do with vegetable, fruit, milk, and sugar? I add all the carbohydrate equivalent. 94 lang. Ilan po bang kailangan ko? 345 na carb. So based on my prescription here. Okay? So what do I do? 345 minus 94, ilan pa natira? 251. Saan ko kukunin yun? Sa rice, sa meat, o sa fat? Di ba sa rice? So yung rice na 253, ilang exchanges ngayon yan? So divided by 23 because 23 grams ang one exchange. So ilan? 11 exchanges pa. Biglang, meron ba sa inyo na shock? In a day, 11 exchanges of rice? Okay ka lang. Okay ka lang. Bakit? Yung 1 cup of rice nga kanina, ilan exchanges yun?
Dalawa po.
Dalawa na. Kunwari kumakain ako ng 4 na beses sa isang araw. So 8 na yun. Diba? Tapos may dessert pa ako na biko. Tsaka na, ano yun? Tandaan mo ito, moderate physical activity siya, tsaka labor ata yung pasyente natin. So pwede. Pwede naman na 12 exchanges. No? So that will, di ba, we converted the principle to mathematics. Alam mo yun? Okay? So, Doc, magkakamali ba kami dito? Hindi kayo magkakamali. Bakit? If you add them all up, 345, kahit mag-round off ka, malapit siya dito. If I round it all up, 91, in-add ko siya, malapit siya sa 90. Kunwari, exchange ko, Doc, ang nakita ko dito, exchange 10.5. Di 11 mo na nga siya. Dito, Doc, ang answer dito, 6.5. Di 7 mo na siya. Naget nyo? Yung exchanges kasi walang half. It should be whole number. Kaya na hindi siya sumasakto, pero malapit siya. And then when I multiply it by the 449 rule, it's 2, 3, 10. It's near 3, 2, 3. Okay? Alright? Doc, ano nang gagawin ko dyan? Puro numbers ka, makakain ba yan ng pasyente? Siyempre, hindi. So, eto, column na to, number of exchanges, lagay mo na dito. Tapos, mag-design ka na ng diet. Okay? You divide it within the day. Okay? Gusto kong kumain ng pasyente 4 times lang. Breakfast, lunch, mid-PM snack, supper. Is that advisable? Kayo, ilang beses ba kayo kumakain sa isang araw?
2 to 3 times po.
Uy, talaga, win. Sino ba yun, Joshua? Totoo ba yung pinagsasabi mo? Okay, 2 to 3 times kasi nag-intermittent po ako. Kaya hirap na hirap po ako dahil hindi na po ako nakaka-breakfast. Sa susunod na kain ko, alas 2 na. Kasi yung klase ko tuloy-tuloy. Di ba may ganun? No? Pwede naman yun. Pero for a healthy individual, it's recommended na mga 4 to 5 times a day, meron kang in-between snacks. Small frequent feeding can be done. No? So yan nga, yung kanina natin class ito, i-distribute nyo siya kailan siya kakainin in a day. Parang itong rice, hinati-hati mo siya. 3, 3, 3, mali pa yung addition. Sorry naman. 2 lang ito dapat. Nagit. Oh, mali ako dyan. 2. Okay? Yung meat ko, gusto kong kainin sa breakfast, sa lunch, tsaka sa supper, pero ang total niya 6 exchanges. Do you get my point? Okay? Tapos kunin mo lahat itong breakfast. O, yan. Yan na yon. Hanap ka na sa FEL mo, sa food exchange list mo, nang magko-coincide with the exchanges. Yan ang mahirap gawin. Ano bang babagay na pagkain? Diba? Huwag kayo masyadong high-tech. Yung mahirap sundan, alam mo yung may mga pa culinary cuisine pa kayo na may pa-Japanese at may pa-Korean pa kayo. Yung Filipino, regular Filipino, alam mo yung pinggang Pinoy? Ang laman lang ng pinggang Pinoy, kanin, galunggong, talbos ng kamote. But it's a complete meal. Diba? May equivalence naman siya eh. Okay? Tapos meron kang isang slice ng mangga. So that's a complete meal. And if you would notice, it's just 300 to 400 kilocalories. No? Not so heavy. So parang ganun lang. Ito, medyo ridiculous plus ito. Hindi ko na binago kasi siya yung nasa manual nyo. O sige, paano ko ba gagawin to breakfast na to? 6 pieces of pandesal. Kasi 2 pieces of pandesal is 1 rice exchange. O, meron siyang sugar. Gusto niya ng jelly. Nagkikrave din siya sa corned beef. Tapos meron din siyang 4 teaspoons peanut butter. Gagawin ko doon, spread mo yung dalawa ng jelly. Tapos yung dalawa, lagay mo sa corned beef. Tapos sa ano. Okay? That way, you have different palaman for the 6 pieces of pandesal. Okay? Wait lang. Okay? Clear yon for breakfast? Okay. Next. For the lunch. Yan na naman yon, no? So, eto, wag nyo na i-present this way. Pwede na siguro i-present nyo as paano? As ginataang gulay. Naget? Tapos sa kanya lagay yung ingredients. Ito, no, 1 fruit, 1 piece mango, 2 sugar. Talaga may pa-chocolate pa siya na 4 pieces. Parang ganun lang. Wala, nilagay ko lang kasi dyan eh, kaya pareha na lang, no? Tapos yung afternoon snack, may palitaw siya. Avocado is the best choice usually pagka in season. Laging pasok yan sa diet plan nyo. Bakit avocado? Highest fat containing fruit with monounsaturated fat. So very good to support your good cholesterol. No? So yan ang justification nyo. So we want to hear that every time you give out your diet and we want to know the reason why you chose that food. Okay? Bakit palitaw? Wala lang, Dok. Nagkikrave lang po yung pasyente. Lalagyan natin ng asukal sa ibabaw ng balta. Wala lang. Okay? Bakit powdered milk? Does that mean it's full cream milk? Yes, Dok. Kasi healthy naman po yung cream ng milk. Kasi mag non-fat ka, pero ang kapartner naman ito, bacon. Siyempre, mali rin yun. You got the point. Magna-non-fat milk ka, tapos ang kapartner mo lahat ng fat na masama. So, kainin mo na lang yung good fats sa milk, tapos bawasan mo yung meal mo na may fats. Okay? And then for dinner, may pa 3 segment siya ng pomelo. Dok, pwede po bang 4? Hindi. 3 lang. Kasi yun lang sulat sa food exchange list. Anyway, may 1 piece yema, no? 1/2 cup rice, 3 exchanges. So I hope you got the point. Okay? So that's how you present. Yes, I'm done. Okay? Sorry, medyo na-extend. Thank you.